bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Where can we find that song, dude? Is pretty much what we're
bro,
trying to ask.
I've been, you know what? My second thing that I do other than working on music is making sure that that song is not out anymore. But I'm kidding. No, you know what?
That's fine.
I'm not ashamed of the story, but it's cringy, man. It's like going back on it now just because I think every artist can relate. You go back on some of the first stuff you did, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, but it was the
Yeah.
starting point.
That's all right, man. I still cringe myself out to the day, dude. Alrighty, baby, we back, dude. You know what's going on. It's the Man to Man Boys Dash Radio. What up, dude? Liam, what up, dude?
Doing good, man. Long day. I guess it'll be a long day when this comes out too, but yeah, been some long days, but I'm feeling good. We got a great interview coming up, so it always makes it better.
It's the lifestyle edition. You guys know what's going on. Appreciate y'all rocking with the boys, man. We got a super cool interview lined up for you guys. VWillz, aka VWillz. He's a young stud, dude. He's a young stud, Colorado boy.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it in the interview, but I don't think I'm welcome in Colorado anymore. I just don't think that's I don't think I could go visit him. He said he would, I'm welcome, but I think I'm banned from Colorado. So
all right, well, I'll go out there instead. I'll go out there for the both of us.
Yeah,
go hang with the boy.
We'll-
Come hang out if you want, dog.
We'll see.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see if they'll let me in the airport or not. But yeah, it was a really fun interview. I really enjoy sitting down with the musicians and kind of seeing their backstory of, kind of who they are as a person, and then what kind of influences them to be the type of musician they are. And we, kind of got kind of real with him and figured that out. And it's a banger of a song.
Yeah.
Freshman year, it's banger. I've been listening to it in the car for the last
Have you? I got that shit on repeat, dude. Song slaps. All right. Well, without further ado, we're not important on this one. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. The Man to Man Boys, Andy, Liam, what's good? Please enjoy our interview with VWillz, aka VWillz. Let's get into it. All righty. Once again, you're tuned in to the boys over at Man to Man on Dash Radio. We're excited to be sitting down and chatting with singer-songwriter based out of Colorado who hit over 4.5 million streams on Spotify in 2021 and recently just released his much anticipated single called Freshman Year. Please welcome in our guy, VWillz, aka VWillz, man. What's up, dog? Thank you for coming on. How you doing?
What's going on, bro? I'm doing good, bro. I appreciate you guys having me, man.
Absolutely, dude. What are you doing for Valentine's, Valentine's Day, dude?
Well, I'm actually I got some plans with my girlfriend. Okay. And she funny enough, she's the one I talk about in that Falling Slowly TikTok. That one that's anticipated right now from the other fans. That's actually about her, and we're dating now. So the fans, I think they know who that's about. But
okay. Yeah, we didn't know if you had a girlfriend, man. We're just trying to give ourselves some self-love over here, dude.
I love it, man. You guys got any plans for Valentine's Day?
Probably just cry myself to sleep, dog.
Nothing on the plans.
I just cry myself to sleep, dude. That's good, man. It's glad to see you're doing well over there. Vic, what'd you do for the Super Bowl, dude? You're out in Colorado, West Coast, man. You guys do anything?
Yeah, man. Went to a buddy's house, threw some bets down, and dude, right off the bat, we were going crazy because we had these parlays, and I had Odell Beckham scoring the first touchdown. And that hit. Oh, dude, I was going crazy. But not all of them hit, but I was happy to get, win a little bit of money yesterday. So
I feel like everybody had OBJ as the first touchdown. That's what all my friends.
Well, I think it's because they're Cooper Kupp is so good that you figure. I just kind of was like, they're probably going to be hard guarding him. You know what I mean? Like they're definitely going to, make sure that he doesn't get the ball as much. So I kind of was like, man, it's got to be to Odell in the end zone for sure.
I feel you, man. Well, my FanDuel account is straight zeros right now, brother. So I just had to enjoy the game, unfortunately.
Hey, man, I've been there, brother. I've been there.
Vic, let's get into it, dude. Let's talk about it. Your most recent single, Freshman Year, UCCS. It's a fire banger, dude. I was telling you a little bit. I was telling you a little bit before we were coming on. I followed you on TikTok. You came up on my For You page, and it was that teaser. I guess you came out with it in June, just like the first chorus or the
Sure.
first verse of it, right? And what made you decide to drop this single right now? Like, what was the point of that? And then take us through the meaning of
Sure.
this song.
Yeah, well, there was I won't dive too deep into it, but there was some disputes going on to where I couldn't release music just due to a contract I was in prior to now. But we got it all figured out, everything squared away. It's all love now, and everything's working out. But that's why I couldn't take advantage of the hype, if you will, at the beginning. And it was frustrating because, you know, a lot of fans are like, drop it, drop it, drop it. And like I couldn't at the time. So once we got the green light and everything got squared away on the business side of things, we were like, bro, we gotta give it to them because they've been asking for it. So that's kind of why it took me till this long to get it out, unfortunately. But it's out now, man. So that's the beautiful part.
Have you seen sort of a different kind of feedback with this song from it being recognized on TikTok, man? I'm just curious. Does it bring like a newer group of audience or listenership in?
Yeah, man, it's unbelievable. TikTok's incredible. It's life changing. I really think it is. Like, I think, you know, we could be down on it, and I know some people are down on it, but it's like, dude, it really is life changing. The people that follow you on TikTok, they don't just go follow you on TikTok. They'll go follow you on Instagram. They'll go follow you on Spotify. They'll DM you. So yeah, it's been like more of a, I'd say, to compare it prior to going on TikTok, the diehard fans are on TikTok. That's what I've realized. Your diehard core fan base is going to be found, in my experience thus far, through my TikTok audience for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, I mean, it's been great because we've realized that TikTok just brings out a whole different audience and things like that. So we were just wondering, man, and the connection with UCCS, Colorado Springs, right? Did you go to school or you had an ex-girlfriend or something there, dude? What's up?
Oh, geez, few. No, nah, bro. I mean, so here's the funny thing. I went to Pikes Peak Community College, right?
Okay.
And dropped out for music. And I lived at this place called The Lodges. And those of you who go to UCCS, if you're listening to this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And when I was at The Lodges, man, this is like, they were the party apartments right by UCCS campus. And the roommates I was living with at the time went to UCCS. And so, you know, I went to a lot of UCCS parties, hosted a few UCCS parties at our apartment and stuff like that. You'd be surprised, man. We jam-packed that thing. And just kind of like was surrounded by a lot of like, you know, UCCS students a lot. And so that's kind of, you know, I was just around a lot of UCCS people and was more influenced by that than the junior college, even though, hey, shout out PPCC. But still, you know what I mean? I was more influenced by being around that group of people and experiencing what I felt like I got to experience, this social side of going to school there, even though I didn't. I feel like I got to experience that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely took me back because I went to Tennessee, man, but we don't know what's going on there on the West Coast, dude. It definitely took me back to my freshman days where I was just trying to figure it out. Didn't know what we were doing on the weekends. I was pledging at a fraternity, and
love it.
Trying to hit up chicks that weren't hitting me back up, dude. So
yeah,
appreciate you bringing that song to life, man.
Hey, I will say the Colorado. Both of my ex-girlfriends that I've had now live in Colorado, so I don't know if I'm welcome in the state of Colorado anymore.
Yeah.
No, you are, dude.
You're welcome in my crib anytime, bro. We'll go far away. We'll go up to Denver or something if they're in Springs. Or if they're in Denver, we'll go to Springs.
That's where they live. So I don't think
they're in Denver.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got Aspen. We got all kinds of stuff. We got Mountain Town. Yeah.
I kind of would just want to break it down, and I'm always curious about really how it comes into play of when you start music as just a musician in general.
Sure.
For you, was it when you were like a little kid, you've always been around music, or when did you kind of transition into like writing songs and will you just have that music all around you all the time when you were growing up, or was that like something later, maybe high school, college-ish time that you really, you know, took a deep dive into music?
Well, I got into music really young, actually. When I was a kid, my cousin was playing a Green Day song up in my uncle's house at a family gathering. It could have been a holiday, I don't remember, but I was so infatuated that he was playing the guitar and he was singing "Time of Your Life" by Green Day, and I fell in love in that moment. And I started getting guitar lessons, and then I had a crush on a girl in the 3rd grade, wrote her a song, pointed to her in the talent show, And I was like, just the feeling of that, even though it was like little like third, fourth grade drama of like, oh, like Victor like pointed to her like in the crowd, like, oh my, it was still like the hype of that, like the way I felt, like I was just like, man, I like this. Like this is like, whether they hated it or not, I think I just enjoyed the spotlight and enjoyed putting out how I felt into music and getting a reaction from it. So I'd say early on is when it, really started, and me songwriting and getting into music. It wasn't until high school though that I think I really started to take it more serious, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because in high school, I feel like that's when a lot of people like decide they really do want to start writing music for like maybe a career instead of that. But like when it comes to your music, where I'll just want to know, like, where was your like inspiration at the time when you first started? Where were you pulling inspiration besides your third grade crush? Was there any other big like inspirations that came to you?
Well, I think like it's interesting. I've been blessed to have very diverse parents, and what they listen to and what they bring to me as far as musical influence. But I don't know, man. I got into like obviously the John Mayers of the world and and that stuff, pulling influence from that. My guitar teacher at the time, he was, really into like the Howie Days, the James Blunt. So I got into that kind of acoustic stuff. But as I got older, I kind of had a little grunge phase. Definitely Blink-182 was wearing purple skinny jeans, sixth grade year. Got kind of shit on for it, but that's okay. Oh, wait, am I not allowed to cuss on this, by the way?
No, you're good. You're good.
You can let it flow.
Okay, so anyway, I got shit on for it, but that's okay. But yeah, I had a total grunge phase where I was like Green Day, Blink-182, and kind of was really into that for a little while. And then I got into rap. I got into like the Young Money, like when Drake was coming out. And I don't know if you guys remember going on datpiff.com and getting those mixtapes like October's Very Own and all that. And yeah, man, we were really into that. So the combination of I think all the influences has kind of made me who I am today, for sure.
Well, your music is kind of, I'd describe it as almost like a indie rock, hip hop, pop, R&B. It's kind of all over the place. When did you really nail down that you wanted to do something, like pick a genre in high school, or what was that like, man? Did you run with something more than the other thing? Because it sounds like you were listening to a lot.
Yeah, I think, that's a good question. I'd say, speaking from now, like I just want to make what I like, and what feels good to me. And maybe one day I drop a song that's considered a hip hop song or it's considered indie pop or whatever it is. I kind of just make what I'm feeling, because I think every genre of music could kind of play into a specific vibe, if you will. And certain genres, I think, for me, I gravitate towards for certain songs I want to write. But in high school, I was definitely on just like the rap shit. I got called wannabe G-Eazy a lot in high school. I did too, dude. Like but I would do it on purpose. I brought it upon myself, man. You know how bad I wanted to be G-Eazy in high school, bro? Like that was like, I tried to rap like him, like all kinds of stuff, man. So yeah, I'd say high school, man, I was really on my like just rap. Like I'll just rap. Like I'd try to ask kids like if they wanted to rap battle me, and like no one would, because I went to like a pretty preppy high school, and like nobody, like I don't know. Being a rapper, it was a love-hate relationship. I was like the only one there. So
I probably had the most anxiety I've ever had in high school, and I don't even know why. I don't even think, because I didn't do music. I was just playing JV on the basketball squad. That's probably a lot of the reason I had to do it. But what did other people think about you in high school, man? High school is such a judgmental place, especially when you want to do music and be a rapper and things like that.
It's so funny because I used to drive myself crazy wondering, but I think it's again, love, hate. I think everybody knew, it's like, Victor, they knew Victor, and either, you liked him or you didn't, or you thought he was weird. I'm just such a passionate guy, very outgoing. And so I think sometimes, I don't necessarily think I was spazzy, but like, I was definitely very like, yo, like, hey, check out my new song. Like, oh, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Like, but I wasn't afraid to be friends with like really anybody. I'd be friends with some guys on the football team, or, be friends with some kids in the theater department. It didn't matter to me. Like the whole, the cliques, if you will. Like I just, had love for everybody. But yeah, I'd say love, hate. I know there's some people who just like couldn't stand me, but that's okay. You know what I mean?
It's all right.
So when did you
Yeah.
when did you like start noticing, like, I guess, popularity from, like, when people started to actually listen to your songs and you actually growing into more than just, you know, the hometown rapper or whatever it is?
Sure. That I think honestly it was when so the high school I went to, the football team is really idolized. I think it still is, and they're really good. That's, I mean, the school really revolved around football team. We went to state, geez, 3 out of my 4 years or two. I know we won it twice. We went back to back when I was there, but we were always in semifinals or state championship when I was there for our football team. And we had some D1 athletes and stuff like that who ended up, graduating high school and going D1. But I made a football song for the football team. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a song for the football team. And sure enough, they played it every Friday night at the stadium if it was a home game at the D20 stadium. And it was so cool, because like it was kind of my claim to fame, if you will. Like after that, everyone's like, okay, all right, you know what I mean? So it was I'd say that's when everyone started, I think, to
And
be like,
then what style of music was that song? I know you're kind of well versed in a lot of different styles.
Sure.
What kind of style was that?
Rap. It was definitely rap.
Okay.
It was definitely rap.
Getting them hype ready to get out on the field.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
I think I don't even remember the lyrics. I forget. I think it was like, it started out like, because this is like the try to go back to back one. I think it was like one team, one dream, one ring. I'm trying to 2P. I don't know. I don't even.
Yeah.
Like,
where can we find that song, dude? Is pretty much what we're trying to ask.
I've been, you know what? My second thing that I do other than working on music is making sure that song is not out anymore. But I'm kidding. No, what? I'm not ashamed of the story, but it's cringy, man. It's like going back on it now just because I think every artist can relate. You go back at some of the first stuff you did and you're like, oh my gosh, but it was a starting point.
That's all right, man. I still cringe myself out to the day, dude. Let's get into some of this album talk, man. You got 2 albums and take us through the process of doing that. It looks like you dropped both in 2020. Did COVID have anything to do with this? Did it give you momentum? Did it give you more time to do it? And then follow-up question, what's the biggest difference between making an album and just dropping a single?
That's a good one. I'd say for the first question, man, I think that having the opportunity of, and I think, we could all relate, being able to stay home and work on your craft is huge. And for me, it was one of those things where, I'd still be, working a 9 to 5 and coming home and working on music or before work or whatever. So it was always like, for me, a grind, but getting rid of that 9 to 5 because of the pandemic, and just being solely able to focus on music was like, it was a game changer. You know what I mean? Because now you just have all day to do it. And I'd say, that's kind of with those projects I just had and still have like a lot of just music sitting, and kind of threw those together and created a project out of both of those ones that are out right now on Spotify. I'll say for future projects though, I really want to try to dive into it having more meaning and being more of like a put together work, you know what I mean? As opposed to just, hey, I have all this unreleased, let me just throw it all together on a project. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think, definitely COVID had a big role in getting out that much music for sure, I would say. But I've also, I think, taken a lot of time to stack up a lot of music now to where, I was even talking with my team the other day and they were like, dude, if you would wanted to, you don't have to make a song for the rest of this year. We have enough to, obviously I love making music, so that's not going to be the case, but I've been blessed to have enough time to just stock up a lot of music. So,
And then what's the big, because I was asking my buddy that last night, he's a musician. I was like, what is the biggest difference? And then you just kind of touched up on it. Also, another question I was asking him is it difficult to pick which songs actually go into the album?
Yeah, man, that it definitely is. And what makes it, I think, difficult is because when you, as an artist, you're like, all right, I want to just put out like this amazing project of this, that, and this. And you get going, and then the hard part of the project is you're continuing to make music, and you get to this point where you're like, well, now I want these songs to be on there. Like, no, now I want these songs. You drive, like, for me personally, I drive myself crazy of like, well, what about those four? You used to love those four, and now you want to
Right.
replace it with these four. And so I think that's why, like right now, while I'm still working on a project to give to the fans, I think singles are just the way to go for me right now, because there is so much demand around individual songs right now with the fan base to get out those songs. So I want to make sure I keep a spotlight on those opposed to like a whole project.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, because that's kind of where, at least for me, we've talked to a couple other like musicians, and they've kind of used we brought up TikTok earlier, but that's kind of what TikTok, if you are on TikTok, that's pretty much how you release music at a point, because every time you open up a video, the song is playing already and you don't have to really go and search it. So I kind of I understand the single stuff, as in terms of just trying to grow and get more listeners to you. But how would you say that maybe TikTok in general as an artist has that like forced you to like kind of change who you go after in terms of like, your branding and who you try to, I guess, get your audience from? Or is it just I make music to make music because I love it and don't really worry about trying to, capture an audience?
Man, that's a great question. That really is a good question. I think TikTok does change it a little bit, because I could tell you right now, like a song like UCCS or Falling Slowly, two of the ones that have done well on that app. I'll be honest with you boys, I don't know that I would have dropped them, because
Mm-hmm.
I just, they're not and this is just my opinion, they're not the best music I have right now. So, but then when I put it out, everyone's like, you got to drop, you got to do this. And so it does change everything, because initially you're thinking, okay, this is the release plan. This is what I'm doing. This song, this song, this song. You go and throw a video out on TikTok. Like, for example, if I post something today and it's a new song and it blows up, that just changes the whole, you know what I mean?
Right.
And as far as like making music for myself and others, I think, obviously music's my outlet, and it's, how I convey my emotions and hopes that other people can relate to them. But man, I love people, man. I think the whole reason I do music is because it's the only thing in this whole entire world that no matter what race, religion, or what you're going through, it doesn't matter. It could bring you together. It's the one thing that could bring everybody together. And I love camaraderie. I love that music can do that. And so I will say the fans do have a huge voice in my career. And if they
Mm-hmm.
say they want something, I take it into a really big consideration, because they are who I do it for.
Right.
I really enjoy people. So
So
Has
that's
that,
yeah.
just
I was
go
gonna
ahead,
say,
man.
has that given you any type of opportunity maybe now then to like work with somebody that you might have not thought, you could have worked with, because maybe they heard your song or your single through TikTok or something like that?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely opened up a lot of doors for like future collaborations and stuff like that. Because again, like you said, I mean, it does open, it opens those doors up when, you're starting to go. And I think, was it Russ who said it? I forget who it was who said it best, but, someone like a Russ could be scrolling down TikTok and see a video with 10 likes and like, you know what I mean? It's just that kind of app. And so,
Mhm.
that's why I said, like at the beginning of this, it is a very life-changing app for sure.
Yeah,
Very.
man. We were just wondering, man, because we talk about it. Liam and I talked about it a couple of days ago, and it's like everyone's attention span is just so short nowadays. So it's like if
Mhm.
you hear, your teaser of UCCS on a TikTok, then you go to that guy's Spotify, rather than like, I don't know, being at a party, and if you had an album, no one's really listening. Unless it's just fire all the way through, just one song
Yeah,
after another, like when you're in a social gathering and things like that. So that was
yeah,
that was kind of our TikTok question. We didn't know, and we know it's opened up a lot of gates for a lot of people, man. But
yeah. No, definitely, it really has. Yeah.
all right, we got Victor Williams, aka VWillz, in the building. He's rocking with the boys, man to man boys on Dash Radio. Vic, man, appreciate you coming on. Before we let you go, we're gonna do this thing what we like to call shoot the shit with you. So these are just
Love it.
quick rapid fire questions, and you kind of just we'll make it short and sweet and go down a list here if you're all right with that.
All right, let's do it.
All right, define Colorado music.
Mm. Growing.
Growing. Is there just a different vibe out there with Colorado music, dude? That's all we're seeing about it.
Yeah, I think it's, I say growing because I think that, you know what, there's a lot of talented people out here. I mean, a lot. And it just, it doesn't have the eyes on it yet. So I think it's growing. Give it time. And I think that it's going to be definitely a hub for sure. I believe in it.
Okay. So. Zodiac sign.
Cancer.
Okay. Liam, you're Cancer too, aren't you?
I am.
Nice.
We're some sad boys, man.
I know.
Hopeless romantic.
I'm a Pisces, but everyone hates me, dude. I'm just too emotional, I guess. Best party you've been to?
Best party I've been to? Sheesh. Oh, that's a good one. Damn, I love how it's rapid questions too. Dude, you know what? I'm gonna have to say, there's a party I went to in Boulder. I forget which fraternity it was at. One of my buddies took me because his brother was in the fraternity up there, and you couldn't move, dude. Like it was like that many people at this, like it was crazy. I would say that has to be like the craziest party I've been to.
Off topic here, but do you ever go play at sororities and fraternities at all, or is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I have not, man. I've actually not performed in a few years. It's been a while since, because obviously the pandemic, and then prior to the pandemic, I was not in a position, I feel like, fan wise, to be able to perform. Though I did some opening shows, but I mean, as far as headlining, I think it's definitely in the question.
Did you open up for sure. Waka Flocka?
Yeah, open up for Waka Flocka. Man, that was fun, dude. I definitely was. It was funny because when I was opening up for him, I could read the crowd, and they just were not messing with me, man. And so I look back at the DJ guy, and I look out to them, and I'm like, if y'all ready for Brick Squad? And they just went nuts. I was like, okay, yeah, we got to do some crazy shit. Let's go. They are not into my singing, my sad songs right now. So, but no, that was good.
That's funny. That's a great. Flocka used to come to Tennessee all the time, man. Yeah, he was pretty much a fraternity brother for us.
He's a goat, bro. Love Flocka.
Most famous person you ever hung out with?
Holy cow. That's a good one. Most famous person I've ever hung out with. And by hanging out, like you're talking, having a conversation with somebody.
Or just maybe be in the same room. That's cool too.
I'd say Young Pinch.
I was talking to Liam about Young Pinch. He's fire, dude.
He's super fire. Yeah, Young Pinch is awesome.
That beach balling, brother. Biggest you got any check marks in the DMs, dude? You shooting? I guess you're not shooting because you have a girlfriend, but
yeah. But as far as check marks and DMs, oh yeah, I got a few. It's kind of cool when you see that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh wow. So,
well, who are they, dude? Give us one.
Man, let me give you.
Who's Kanye reaching out to you, dog?
He's getting the Rolodex.
Do you want me to tell you the biggest? I'd say the biggest one.
Yeah.
The biggest one, Julian Edelman.
Oh wow.
What he's
the New England Patriots wide receiver.
Yeah.
I replied to his story because he had posted one of my stuff on TikToks on his story. I just said, "You made my day. Thank you so much." And he said, "Big fan. Can't wait to see you blossom."
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so I'd say that's probably the most starstruck moment for sure.
Music inspirations from Colorado or in general?
I'd say number one inspiration of all time is XXX Tentacion. Rest in peace.
Hell yeah. Feel that, dude.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Feel that hard, dude.
Yeah. The 1975, Coldplay, Black Bear.
Yeah.
Young Pinch, honestly. I've loved Young Pinch for like the longest time. So yeah, he's definitely an influence.
Morning and night routine.
Morning routine, man. I have this little dog. He's this little Boston Terrier, and he's deaf. And he's got to go pee in the morning. He's got to go pee in the morning.
Yeah.
And so first thing in the morning is let him out. He does his stuff. I make myself some coffee, or I go get coffee. Got to have my coffee in the morning. And then I come start working on music or look at what I have to do for the day. At night, it changes. I'd say I'm either working on music again, or I tell you what, boys, I'm not going to lie to you. I do be liking that Fortnite. Playing the Fortnite, man. I be playing it.
That's hilarious. You're not a COD guy? A little Call of Duty?
You know, man, used to be. I'm not even good at Fortnite either, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm like trash at it. But like it's fun, man. I think you know what's so fun about video games? Just get on with the boys.
Yeah.
You get on with the boys, you're on the mic, you're talking. It's like it's almost therapeutic in a way. So
the boys will always be there until they're not. But
yeah.
that's Liam saying, I come on the pod, I'm like, I'll have a weird weekend, get ghosted, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, the boys are always gonna be here, dude. Appreciate you rocking. All right, we got a couple more for you, Vic. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, let's do it.
You got a girlfriend, dude. Best way to approach a woman. Best way to approach a woman.
Well, I'll put you guys on game, man. This is how I did it. I went up to her and I met her at a wedding, and I said, hey, if I told you my favorite movie is The Notebook, will you dance with me?
Nice.
And she laughed or whatever. And then I turned around and I said, nobody said it's going to be easy. It's going to be real hard, just like Ryan Gosling says in the movie. And it was a wrap, man. And that's all. That's just, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just confidence, man. You got to go up with burning confidence and just kind of like be you. I think sometimes I could just be kind of goofy and funny. And so just hone that. The funny thing is at the wedding, I was telling everybody I was a neurosurgeon, and it was a wedding full of medical people. So that was, stupid of me to do. But again, just was honing it, man. I was honing it. So you just have to.
I tell you what, Liam, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, I don't. We shouldn't dive too deep in, but my man over there, Andy, said he's an astronaut to some chick, and she went along with that. I think he's still an astronaut to her.
Astronaut in training.
Wow.
Yeah.
Astronaut in training. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I stopped hanging out. Obviously, I just felt weird lying about that. That was fucking weird, dude. Yeah, dude. Okay.
I love it, man.
The dating scene in Nashville is atrocious. Biggest social media tip, advice to give somebody else.
In what regards? Marketing, sliding into a girl's DMs?
Marketing, yeah.
Marketing, man, I think consistency is key, but like, don't be corny. And I don't mean to come off that way. It's just, it's hard. I've been corny before. I think just believe in your product, believe in what you have, be consistent and believe in it, because I think people know when you don't. People know if you don't believe in it, or if you're fishing for their approval. Like you got to approve. And granted, yes, we're in the business of like other people's approval, and I get that, but you got to believe in it first. When you put it out, show that you believe in it, and I think other people will follow.
I love it. We got two more for you, man. Advice to other artists and musicians trying to make it, pursue their dreams. Don't
give up. And I think the best thing I could tell you is that, and I forget where I heard it from, but there should be no plan B or C. Plan A, because that will force you to go full in on it. And, you're always going to question it the whole way through. Even now, I question it, but I just believe it's that little voice in you that keeps you going. And you just have to, again, just trust in yourself, trust in the process, and there is no other plan. This is it. Like for me, this is it. It's this or nothing. And I think if you just put all your chips in one basket and go full force, sky's the limit. So,
who is VWillz?
Man, a heart on his sleeve type of guy, man. Just very aware of his emotions, my emotions, and constantly wanting to make others happy. And I think when you'll know if I'm sad in a room. I don't have a poker face. I really wear my emotions. So you'll know how I'm feeling the second you see me, for sure.
You are beautiful, brother. Appreciate it. A man of many talents.
You, man. Thank you.
Man, be sure to go stream his latest single, VWillz, VWillz, everywhere. Freshman year, UCCS. It's a banger song. Check him out on all socials at VWillz. Vic, this was fun, man. Really appreciate you coming on. I know it's short notice. You got a busy regimen going on, but really appreciate it, man.
Dude, I appreciate you guys so much, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Congratulations on all the success so far. We look forward to see what's to come, man. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Only in the night, it ain't about nothing. I'm straight hustling.